Hello, Blizzard fans! This is FalconPaladin coming to you with yet another daily Blizzard upload. This is a game between DhaReaL and KidDynamite on Lerliak Crest. This is a TVZ that was submitted to me at FalconPaladin@gmail.com, and you too can submit replays to that address, and assuming they get by Squeaks, my screener, then I will cast them. In the top left of Lerliak Crest, we have the red Terran player. It is DhaReaL. And in the bottom right of Lerliak Crest, we have the blue Zerg player, known as KidDynamite. Probably going to say KD from this point on. KidDynamite is a lot of syllables to get through. KidDynamite, 4 syllables, good grief. But alright, both players doing pretty standard stuff. Actually, walling off here is DhaReaL, pretty smart stuff against a Zerg opponent. And yes, there goes the refinery. It looks like it's going to be a Reaper expand just based on the timing on that refinery, and there's not quite a barracks yet. So fairly standard stuff in Heart of the Swarm, as well as Legacy of the Void. And I assume we're going to go 15 hatch here for KidDynamite because we have a lot of minerals, and nothing has been built or mutated yet for the Zerg player. So there goes the barracks. We're going to see that Reaper. And while we have a second here, I just want to say again, thanks to everybody who has subscribed to my channel. I hit 1,000 subscribers just about a week or so ago, which is really great for me. Just a milestone I've been looking forward to, and it was everything I hoped it would be. If you want to continue to help FalconPaladin to grow, go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you haven't done so already. You can also share my videos right there on YouTube to let people, let your friends know, let the people who follow you know what you're doing, and know that there are daily Legacy of the Void casts out there. You can also link my stuff on Reddit and Team Liquid and Twitch, not really Twitch, mostly Twitter and Facebook as far as social networking goes, and just kind of get the word out. And I think that more that happens, the more conversation we'll have in the comments, the more fun it will be to be here and be here watching these videos. So again, get the name out, get FalconPaladin out there, and we'll have a big community and everybody will be happy, and we will all live happily ever after. Alright, so back to the Terran player, DhaReaL, actually getting a Marine. Did not get a Reaper. That's not a Reaper. That's an SCV. So maybe not a Reaper expand as I expected. Factory coming up. We have an orbital command at the same time. And spawning pool just about to finish. For KidDynamite, has enough money for a queen. Has enough money for several queens. Up to almost 500 minerals. Wow. So this build is a little bit interesting. It looks like he did go hatch first. So now popping is the hatch. Queen here as well. Do it. KidDynamite, go. No. Not going to happen. Alright, that's fine. Nope, 2 queens. There it is. Just waited until I wasn't watching to actually get that started. SCV now is going to scout out the Zerg base. Going to see exactly what is going on. Passing this rock tower that can be used. Ooh, 3rd base now coming up for KidDynamite. Even before scouting at all. You are a brave soul, KidDynamite. But again, I guess he had all that money, so why not? At this point, he's getting speed for his lings. He's getting 2 queens. That's exactly what he needs to do. Let's see what's going to happen here. Auto-inject or not. No. Okay, so this is on the very, very latest patch of Legacy of the Void where auto-injects are not a thing anymore. So Zerg players need to pay attention to their queens, but you are back up to 5 extra larvae per inject. So you get a lot more larvae by manually injecting your queens than you were with the auto-inject, which can be nice. Drone versus SCV, who wins? Oh, Drone lives with 3 hit points left, has a kill, is now a Predator. Good job. What are these guys? Also Predators, never mind. So you don't get a new rank or anything, but I feel like workers, if they kill anything, they should get a bump up. Like from Predator to like Assassin, or from Predator to like Death from Above, or I don't know, Death from the Ground. I guess the drones are kind of flying, right? They're kind of hovering there across the ground as we zoom in on him. Death from Above. A hover's not really a fly though, so never mind. Sending the drone out to finally scout. That kind of rhymed there. Gonna say, alright, this Terran player is actually not expanded yet here at the 4-minute mark. Kind of a surprise. Has walled off though. Ooh, with a Cyclone even. Alright. On the latest patch as well, Cyclones do have the ability to hit air and ground. Right here with the Typhoon Missile Pod. 18 damage, range of 5. Air and ground on that basic damage. And the lock-on ability can also hit at ground and air. Although lock-on does 300 damage over 14 seconds to ground targets and 240 damage over 14 seconds to flying targets. So it doesn't do quite as much damage to air as it does to ground, but still really, really good. And here comes the Liberator Harass. Oh no, KidDynamite, what do you have? How can you defend against this? You have a Spore Crawler, but I believe the Defender mode does outrange the yes, outranges Spore Crawlers, and that's another thing. Liberators do not have to research Defender. Oh, yes, you do. What? Did they change that back? I need to keep up on these patch notes, but I thought I read that it doesn't require research, but it totally does. So are we getting that research is the question. Yes, yes, Defender mode is being researched, which shows up right here on the production tab. Looks like a Liberator being built, which is kind of weird. Kind of a weird icon to use. Roach Warren on the way. We are throwing up Spore Crawlers everywhere. Did we scout that? Did we know what was coming, or we just assume Liberators are coming if it's a Terran player? I don't know. Either way, KidDynamite is up to 42 Harvesters to 26 total for DhaReaL. 9 Roaches in production and getting +1 melee attack. Interesting choice there. You think it would be Missile, but nope. Spore Crawler getting some shots off on that Liberator as it heads on by. Says, I don't want to attack here, but guess what? Another Spore Crawler back here. Be very, very careful, and just out of range. Throws down Defender mode. These workers are going to die. Run, drones! Run for your lives. Another Liberator here actually might die to the Spore Crawler. Nope, runs away. Manages to live. So many workers are dying. KidDynamite's drone lead is now down to 36 to 27. How do we get rid of these Liberators is the question. You just got to get a Spire. I really think you do. Or maybe move your Spore Crawler right in range of the Liberator if he's not paying attention. There it is. You know what? We might actually get a kill here. And indeed we do. Spore Crawler does kill the Liberator, is the hero of all these drones down here that died, does avenge their deaths. Spore Crawler again trying to chase away this guy. Did he get any kills? He has a single kill. He's a recruit, but he's super low on HP. Not very happy about that. The Queen, oh, gets a couple shots off, one shot off. Brings the Liberator down to 21 hit points. Here comes some Lings, going to try to deny this base. Going to be able to do it. Nope! When I said it, we're going to be able to do it, I lied. SCV gets pinned down and dead, but there are only 2 Zerglings here. They should be able to be cleaned up very easily by these tanks and these other units, and indeed they do die to the tanks. The Marines come in to clean it up. Some damage was done to the orbital command, but nothing too crazy on the part of KidDynamite. But that's a-okay. He meant, oh, a lot of Ravagers. Let's look at this. Units tab, 9 Ravagers for KidDynamite. All right, so not a huge fan of Ravagers. If you watch my casts, you know that to be true, but I don't know. KidDynamite's going to make it work. He's going to try to make it work here anyway. Here comes a drop with a Widowmine and 4 Marines. A pretty standard play from Terran. Moving up across the map, though, are these Ravagers. And now they do have similar stats to Roaches. They have fewer hit points, but they do 16 damage like Roaches do. But their range is 6, whereas Roaches have a range of 4. And what did... Ah, the Overlord caught sight of the drop here, and the Ravagers are coming back home to defend against it. They are running as fast as they can, but the move speed of Ravager is only 3.85, not particularly speedy. The Queen is trying to get rid of this medevac before it can actually drop its deadly cargo, and might actually bring it down here to fairly low health, but the Marines are dropping. The Widowmines are dropping, and... Oh, Corrosive Bile on top of everything! Oh! Corrosive Bile takes out that drop. Got the medevac, got the Marines, even got the Widowmine. KidDynamite throws out the no, 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 not on my watch. Man, that timing was so lucky, though. The Ravagers just got there in time. Managed to throw Corrosive Bile down. Now, if you haven't seen Corrosive Bile before, it does launch a missile at the target location, dealing 60 damage to all units in the area upon impact, including air units. So the thing is, they throw out a little indicator where they're going to land the Corrosive Bile shot. So like if you're right here and you shoot over here, there's a circle that the enemy can see, so which usually makes it pretty easy to dodge. But not while old Sundance and Maserati are on patrol, I reckon. But I mean, at that point where you're dropping and kind of stationary anyway, it makes sense. I kind of like it. Coming up this ramp, Corrosive Bile on top of that tank does manage to kill it. Cyclones, though, are very dangerous, and all of those Ravagers die. That Cyclone has 3 kills. This one has 3 kills. The Siege tanks have not. That one has 5 kills, I guess, so that was pretty good. But man, Cyclones are so good. I don't know why more Terrans don't use these, but we're going mech. DhaReaL is going for the mech play against the Zerg, which is really hard for a Zerg to stop, now taking a 4th base. This is what you have to do, though, if you're KidDynamite, is recognize they're going mech. They're going to be slow. It's going to take them a while to build up their impossible-to-stop army, so you expand like a crazy person. Expand here, expand here, expand here, probably expand here, and here. Why not? Because they're not moving out anytime soon. Spread that creep. Roaches can be good against mech depending on how many tanks there are. And Cyclones, I guess. Roaches might be good against Cyclones. The answer to Cyclones really seems to be Mass Ling, just because the lock-on ability is horribly inefficient against Zerglings. But at the same time, is that a new animation for Defender mode? I want to say that's new, but I don't know. It's pretty cool looking anyway. Anyway, as I was saying, Lings could be good. Just roaches just melt. Ultralisks even die pretty darn quickly to that defender ability. Are we... Whoa! The spawning of the overlords, man. That is huge. Inject, Queen. You have 42 mana? It's mana, right? Energy? 42 energy. Inject. You can do it. That one is on, and that one is on point as well. This one has a Queen also on point. This one's just kind of being forgotten. Is it hotkeyed is the question? And no, only two of these are hotkeyed. Anyway, the Lings come in, catch a lot of unprepared SCVs, mules dying as well. This is going to be a planetary fortress if it can finish in the next like 10 seconds. And it does finish, but the Lings are trying to make this work. It's going to be very, very close though. Defender mode taking out individual Lings at the same time, and no, the planetary lives with 160 hit points. I think maybe if KidDynamite had moved the Lings around to the backside out of the range of that defender mode area, probably could have sniped it down, but for now, that was a lot of dead Lings. 32 Lings have died in this game, and no planetary fortress has died. However, they did kill 11 SCVs. Well, probably 10, because one died over here, right? Inject, KidDynamite, inject. Well, here comes that push I said wasn't going to happen for a while. A lot of tanks, cyclones, 2 cyclones. KidDynamite saying, FalconPaladin doesn't like Ravagers, but I'm going to keep trying to use them. And indeed he is. He has more Ravagers here to replace the ones that died. Lings as well. Maybe get a surround on this army with the Lings and the Ravagers in the front. But no, I don't think KD even saw that. He's going right after this base that's entirely undefended. Is it enough to bring the Terran army back home to lose everything here? And no, it's not. We're setting up siege mode. We are going for it. DhaReaL says, you know what? You can kill my stuff. I have tanks. Yours, the Zerglings, are no use. No match against that. Orbital command here as well. Liberators coming in for that defender mode and throwing down a circle here. Slowly marching forward. Maybe another one here would be nice. Oh, doing that drop with the siege tank. Awesome stuff. Ravagers, though, going after this planetary fortress. Corrosive bile on top of all of these units. And this is just too many Ravagers against a single planetary. It's going to fall. All those workers are going to die at the same time. Queen dies to a tank shot. Body flies up into the air. So this base is dead and this base is dead. This base, I think, is on lockdown. We just need to go for it. DhaReaL, I know you're scared about these Ravagers, but you have tanks in defensive positions here. Do you have more tanks in production is the question. You do, as well as a couple Liberators. Throw down some defender modes. Get a tank here, and you're going to be A-okay. Move forward. There you go. Now tank on the creep, going after workers. Trying to take out that extractor at the same time. This base is under heavy fire right now. Here come 3 Ravagers to handle this. And nope. Tanks are squishing everything that comes down. Every single Ravager dies. Corrosive bile whiffs in that case. Defender mode a little bit late, but it makes it there. Now there are 4 tanks on the creep defender mode trying to prevent reinforcements from coming down and saving the space, because this hatchery is gonna die. These Ravagers are looking good with +2 carapace and +1 missile attack. Lings as well are +2/+2. Which is excellent. Extractor under fire, and boosh. Second extractor gonna die here. What is left for KD? KD does have another base being built, which is nice. And these Ravagers are gonna try to make something happen. They're gonna probably be able to get this Liberator with Corrosive Bile because it's not gonna move. See that little indicator right there? Oh, actually did move, and the Cyclones die. But the tank number is just so high. Corrosive Bile being thrown down on top of the tanks, and it gets every single one but one on this side. Unfortunately, there are like 5 more over here. And defender modes enabled. This defender mode is in the wrong place, though. Corrosive Bile kind of whiffing there again. Can be hard to target Corrosive Bile on top of flying units. KD saying it's like fire rain. Oh, there we go. Alanis Morissette on your wedding day. And here we go, Ravagers again into tanks. Not a great idea. Roaches into tanks isn't a good idea, but Ravagers have even fewer hit points. Are we going to get it? Yeah. Corrosive Bile takes down that Liberator. So we still have tanks on the creep. Not a great place at all to be for KD. If you notice the creep receding a little bit more quickly than it used to, that's something else that's in this latest patch. Is the creep, if there are no creep tumors to sustain it. I guess that one has creep tumors to sustain it, but yeah, you'll notice Lings coming in here, taking out a few SCVs as well, but the tanks from the high ground are just splashing them to death. Yahoo! The tanks don't have any upgrades, and the Lings are +2/+2, but it doesn't really matter. The Roaches decide to turn around and go for it, getting right on top of these siege tanks, but defender mode once again, sniping down every single Roach. corpses flying everywhere. The Ultralisk Den is researching chitinous plating for Ultras on the way, trying to make this work. But is the Ultra Den gonna die before it can finish getting that upgrade? And I think it is. Oh, inside the defender mode radius, the Queen dies there. Tanks are just shelling everything. Ravager's trying to survive, but he's kind of walled himself off here. He has to go the long way around, gonna move up into this defender mode, trying to take out tanks, stopping on this ramp, gets rid of one of the Liberators. Mass corrosive bile does force this guy to retreat. All these tanks are gonna die as well. A defender mode set up once more. Corrosive bile missing the target that's not there anymore. The Ultras did pop, but they don't have the chitinous plating upgrade, unfortunately for them. Returning home is the Liberator. I think that was Lings that we saw dying there on the mini-map. So it's basically 2 base to 3 base. Not really mining up here at all is KD. It's 48 to 42 total harvesters. KD has a lot of money in the bank, and actually some larvae to spend. Does that show up on the units tab? It does. 18 larvae to spend, but can't make Ultras because the Ultra Den was destroyed. So, unfortunately for KD, he has some Ravagers. He has some Ultras that do have +2/+2 upgrades, which is good. They do come with 1 armor, so it's actually +3 armor, which is really nice at this stage of the game. And the Ravagers are actually going to deny this command center land. Well done. Excellent game sense here. And there goes the corrosive bile. So enough to bring it down by about 25%. It's okay, but you got to wait for that cooldown. 1 more volley. Yes, 1 more volley of corrosive bile. Whack, 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 whack. Hey, look at that. And Ultra is going after this command center, and the SCV is coming up here at the same time. This command center does explode. All the SCVs coming to be at the wrong place at the wrong time, and the Ultras destroy them. Ravagers, however, getting cleaned up by tanks coming in to avenge their fallen command center. That's not quite fallen, only has orange health there. Man, Ravagers have kind of fun death animations. Corrosive bile whiffing. Yeah, look at that. It's like the corrosive bile inside their heads kind of evaporates. It's kind of neat that way. These Ultras are not in the right place. They do not want to be here whatsoever. Are we going to use defender mode against the Ultras? Can be pretty good if DhaReaL wants to do it, but the Ultras come right on in, take out 1 tank, and that's it. Single tank. Tank's not even bothering to go into siege mode here. Taking some damage, but I don't think any more of the tanks died, unfortunately for KD. So total number of tanks that have died are 13. KidDynamite saying, I'm going all Ravagers all day. And I'm just not sure this is a great strategy. I'm not going to lie. Back to the production tab. We're going Roaches into Ravagers into Creep Tumors. Spreading that creep across the map. So many Ravagers on the map. Evolution Chambers could be upgrading. I'm just saying, KD, you have enough money. Also, the auto injects are not here anymore. So I noticed that you're getting a little bit high on energy on these Queens. More workers here would be good at the same time as well. But you're trying to make Mass Ravager work, and I kind of have to respect that. So KD with 152 supply to 93 for DhaReaL, 53 harvesters to only 30 for the Terran player. Pretty much mined out here. A lot of workers on that. Entirely mined out in the main base, but this is up and running with a ton of mules. That's the other thing. The mules are back to exactly how they were in Heart of the Swarm. So you can mule up anything you want to from any command center that's on the map. That's why there are like 18 mules here. They are manual cooldowns as well. It's not an automatic cooldown anymore, so that's a thing. I also think they left the Protoss Chrono Boost as it was. So, yeah, as it was in the latest patch that we had before this one. So it is able to just kind of sit on a building forever and ever, giving it a 20% speed boost to whatever it's doing. And you have to manually choose where it goes as Protoss, which can be kind of annoying, but at the same time, kind of nice. I'm not sure if people like it or not. So Vampy seems to think it's okay, Walnut as well. I've seen some comments that for Protoss, it's kind of hard to remember to use it after you've used it on something like an upgrade. So you use it on the Forge, it finishes, but then it doesn't go ding ding, it's done. It doesn't remind you, so the Chrono Boost just kind of sits there doing nothing until you move it somewhere else, which is kind of hard to keep a track of when you're also trying to macro up and micro and scout and do all that other stuff you do as a Protoss player. So look at all these bases. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total. For KidDynamite, more and more Roaches in production, +3 melee attack, +2 missile attack. Pneumatopize Carapace, we're going to make Overlords faster, which means maybe drops. That would be interesting. Good inject there, Queen. Nicely done. Inject here as well. How are we doing on injects? Bad. Look at all this larva. Use this larva, KidDynamite. Okay, you're maxed out. Never mind. Maxed out on Ravagers. Coming out across the map. There are some tanks here. Are we going to Corrosive Bile? Yes, Corrosive Bile actually doing okay. Doesn't quite kill this one, though. Gets picked up, moved out to a different spot. The Ravager's saying, I don't care if this is optimal or not. We're coming right on in, Corrosive Biling everything under the sun. Tanks dying left and right here. A lot of Ravagers dying too, but they are taking a lot of mech units with them. But there are so many tanks. Be so careful. Corrosive Bile from the sky. It works well against tanks because they can't dodge it, but at the same time you have to get in range of the tanks, which means you're taking siege tank hits to the face, which I think you'll agree is not a fantastic strategy. Man, so many Ravagers just falling flat on their faces. Good micro here, though. Corrosive Bile, whiff, whiff, whiff. But I think the hit rate of Corrosive Bile in this game is a lot higher than I've ever seen. So kudos to KidDynamite for pretty much making this work. Although his Ravager ball is a lot... Ooh, taking that down once more. A lot smaller than it used to be. DhaReaL throwing out the frowny face. So sad. Not quite sure what to do against these Ravagers. I think the answer might be like Banshees? Because Banshees are fast. They hit really hard. KD saying so much bile. Probably smells bad. And you know what? You're probably right, KidDynamite. It probably smells disgusting. Inject. Queen, you can do it. You have 200 energy. Inject. You too. 200 energy. I know. I know it's hard. It's hard to remember. They let us have auto injects for so long. It doesn't make any sense that we have to go back to manually injecting, but it's so worth it. So worth it. 34 larvae available to KidDynamite. Pretty much maxed out again already, though. Ravagers, do they have the +3 yet? No. They're +2, +2. +3 is sitting here waiting for him if it wants to be upgraded. Overseer's just kind of hanging out. Sending some changelings in. That's kind of funny. And they die, because DhaReaL is nobody's fool. Base up and running for DhaReaL, though. This probably should be a planetary fortress or an orbital command at this point. Is neither, but that's okay. Ravagers going in again against these tanks. Good spread on the tanks. Defender mode as well being used to great effect. This Ravager ball is melting fast. Oh, so fast. Again, not even any upgrades on these tanks, but it doesn't matter. Just not enough hit points available on these Ravagers to survive long enough to running into a tank line. There we go again. Corrosive Bile taking out a single tank, but losing 3 or 4 roaches in the process. I don't know if this is sustainable. I don't know if this economic model is a good thing for you, KidDynamite, but you have your bases, you have your money. You're actually pretty low on gas, surprisingly. Are we whipping another one? Yep, individually taking out tanks, but you'll notice the ball of Ravagers gets a lot smaller. There it is. The last one finally gets that medevac. Yep. Siege tank splash is bad. I don't think you should really walk into it. Oh well, still alive. So 1 kill, 0 kills, 2 kills on these Ravagers. More roaches coming in, more roaches back here just kind of hanging out. And small group of lings trying to scout out, I think, but they all get destroyed. Because tanks are good. Tanks are very good. DhaReaL up to 56 harvesters, 96 total supply, a lot of minerals, and not very much gas. Both players are playing pretty gas heavy right now. Corrosive Bile on top of that medevac. How many medevacs have died in this game? 6 total medevacs. Ravagers going for it. Corrosive Bile coming from the heavens. Defender mode, however, being used to great effect. Never mind. There it is. There's defender mode. Corrosive Bile coming at the same time, smashes it down. Liberator dies before it can do much of anything at all. Sitting outside the range of this defender mode radius, taking out the command center before it turns into a planetary fortress. No! Not quite able to do it. Ooh, taking out the Liberator again. Using Corrosive Bile. Going to out DPS these SCVs eventually. And the planetary does fall. Ravagers moving up. There's defender mode being here as well. But guess what? Corrosive Bile good against stationary units. 1 dies. And 2 die. Roaches, nope, Ravagers over here going after production buildings. Nothing in production at all for KidDynamite right now. Trying to take down this planetary fortress. SCVs repairing it, though, a lot of SCVs. And do we actually outrange? No, we do not. Planetary is actually getting shots off on these Ravagers. Up to 2 kills. Is it going to get 3, 4 total kills now? Ravagers falling left and right, trying to kill workers, but it's just not enough. Not enough DPS to get through it. These Ravagers as well, going after barracks that are in production. Are we trying to switch over to barracks play? Yeah, DhaReaL is trying to switch it up in the middle of the game, going barracks, which might actually be better. I don't know. More tanks, though. Bad news for KidDynamite, but deals with 1, no problem. The other one might be a problem. Corrosive Bile. Bile, unnecessary. Gets rid of the tank anyway. Oh, Corrosive Bile on a Marine, dodges it. The Marine says, oh, you get out of here. You leave me alone. Marines have no upgrades at all. But still, DPS is pretty good from Marines regardless. Ravagers slowly whittling away at the buildings of DhaReaL. 38 to 64 total harvesters. Injects are still not looking great for KidDynamite. I feel like he could have won this maybe a little bit ago, but that's okay. Some idle workers as well could be used maybe to get some gas up here at this base, because that's what you're starving for here at KidDynamite is gas. Roaches, Ravagers, more Roaches, more Ravagers. That's all we're worried about. And still we don't have +3/+3 because who needs upgrades, honestly? Oh, this is an orbital command. Can't defend itself. Oh, Corrosive Bile smashing a ton of those SCVs. Who got all those kills? One of these guys did. 5 kills, 2 kills, 3, 6 kills. So Ravagers using Corrosive Bile to take out workers that are stacked up. I like that use as well. Corrosive Bile on top of orbital commands that are trying to fly away. Why not? Why not? Can we get... yes, we can. Getting behind the mineral line, out of the range of the planetary. Now into the range of the planetary. Can they kill it before the SCVs recognize what's going on and they repair it? No, not quite. Corrosive Bile smashing so many of those SCVs, though. KidDynamite playing this pretty well. Microing a little better than I expected. A couple more shots and the planetary falls, as well as the workers that were trying to repair it. KidDynamite throwing out the offensive. GG. Is DhaReaL done yet? DhaReaL has 2 total SCVs on the map. He has some tanks and some Marines. And Roach is coming up trying to deal with the Marines, but that tank ball... Okay, there's only 2. Oh, Corrosive Bile takes out a lot of the Marines and one of the tanks. Ravagers from the low ground take out the remaining siege tank. Okay, just kidding. One more siege tank left with 4 kills, but taking direct damage. It explodes in a fireball. Marines as well melting to that acid saliva from the single Roach that is here, and that's it. DhaReaL is defeated. KidDynamite is victorious with his mass Ravager play, and DhaReaL has left the game. So, woohoo! Pretty amazing stuff there from KidDynamite. I have to say, going mass Ravager, I didn't believe he could do it, but the Corrosive Bile worked out for him against those stationary units. I hadn't really considered it. It is easy to dodge, obviously, but if there are liberators, if there are tanks, if there are things that can't go anywhere, then Corrosive Bile might actually be pretty good. So, thanks for sending that in, KidDynamite. I really do appreciate it. As always, this has been FalconPaladin with yet another Daily Wizard upload. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook, all at /FalconPaladin. And until next time, as always, you take care of yourself.